Gardens Ecolodge. Thank you for making time for us. Just from what you've seen from that particular story, how do you think we're performing when it comes to tourism in the country as a local investor?
I mostly heard the minister talk about marketing Kenya as a tourist destination. And as an investor, I think I'd like us to also focus on the facilities. You want the tourists to come, but where are they going? Right? So can we also focus on the facilities when they come? Have we developed what they're coming to do, what they're coming to experience, where they're going to live? Have we developed it to a point that we are also happy, that we have things to bring people into the country for? Yeah.
In your opinion, how do you think we have the facilities, or we need to do more?
In my opinion, we have the facilities in certain areas, certain sections in the country. But we don't have facilities in other areas that actually have so much potential. Yeah, we have a lot of attraction, but you don't bring people to a place where they can't find a place to sleep. So the attractions are just lying there, not really tapped.
Well, then, as a local investor yourself, what are you doing, or what role are you playing in strengthening tourism in the country?
I talk about facilities lacking in the country, but I've also said that facilities are lacking in some areas in the country. I'm basically focusing on the Western Circuit.
Tell us about that.
Yes. We've talked about this Western Circuit tourism development for a long time. We've been yapping about it for a long time. But what's happening on the ground doesn't even show anything happening. I think we talk more than we do. Tunaongea, tunasema more than tunatenda. Right? So the western area is suffering for tourism facilities, for hospitality facilities. We have so much potential. The lake itself is a huge potential, but you don't have, there are facilities dotted here, a few here and there, but not enough facilities to now, strongly ask tourists to come to the western side of the country. They can come, but if they start coming in droves, we will not be able to accommodate them.
Sustain.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. You've talked about the Western Circuit. Now let's focus on the Lake Region Economic Bloc. They're coming up with a masterpiece of a development plan that, of course, is aimed at making sure that there's full economic potential in these particular areas, especially that's bordering Lake Victoria. How are you then looking up to realization of this particular plan?
Like I said before, and I'm sorry to say this, we talk a lot. We talk a lot, we document a lot, we probably even research a lot and actually have answers to our issues. But getting down to the ground to implement some of these policies or even ideas that we come up with gets a bit difficult. And this I think, cuts across the country, not just for the Lake Region Bloc. So whatever has been happening, it happens in conferences, it happens in boardrooms, it happens, but you don't see anything on the ground, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I want to understand, again, I'd like to challenge you because you're in this particular space.
Yes.
Is there anything specifically you're doing when it comes to the facilities that you're talking about that's lacking? I'm trying to understand as a proprietor, apart from now the county level or the national level, as an individual or proprietor, what are you doing? Now,
I'm actually from a different background. I'm not a hospitality person, like trained. I'm an architect by profession. So I've been practicing architecture for the last 30 years. But in the last 7 years or so, we have tried to develop and run a hospitality facility tucked somewhere right next, in a little natural area, very interesting, beautiful area right by the lake. And basically why we are doing this is because, for the longest time, we are waiting for somebody to come and do this. Like, we are not seeing the big hotel chains coming to the lake. We are not seeing people coming to develop big hotels at the lake. We see them in other lakes. Lake Naivasha is already all surrounded. Lake Elementaita is almost gone. Lake Nakuru probably has a few. Lake Victoria has very few. It's the biggest lake we have around here. The Tanzanian side is doing very well. The Ugandan side is doing very well. The Kenyan side is suffering, clearly suffering. So in our own way, instead of waiting for whoever it is who does these things, we know who they are. Instead of waiting for them, we are telling ourselves, why don't we start doing anything, something, or however small it is. In our language, they say it's not even chaka chaka. We say chaka chaka. Chaka chaka means just start.
Right.
Just start with whatever, even if it's just a campsite with 3 tents, just start doing something, the guests will come. So that's what we actually as a family decided to try and do by the lake. It's a very beautiful place, I can assure you. And we've started having guests coming in. We've been like open for the last like 3 years. We were interfered with by COVID like everybody else. But it is speaking. It's a very beautiful place. People come, international tourists come, local tourists come. And you see the potential that's there. There's so much potential. So that's what we have done, I have done as an individual. But you need many more people to do this. One person doing it in an area is not sustainable. Of course, we're not the only ones doing it. You'll find a few other areas, somebody tries this here, a few kilometers down there, maybe 20, 30, there's another one doing that. That's a huge space, yeah? So if you could have people actually just try to start doing, of course, the government is still challenged because as much as we do that, you can't come in building roads, doing power plants. You need all these services, which you can't actually do on your own. But we are saying, let's do what we can. It's a struggle, but we've started doing it. Yeah. The place is running, it's receiving guests.
I mean, that's good news, I think, from an individual perspective. What about now on the county level? Have you tried to reach out to the county to seek support?
Yes, we have.
How's that been?
We have, and they'll listen to you. They know about us, but really nothing happens on the ground. Yeah, but you have to keep moving. You started this, and you have to keep moving with it. That's the county government, even the national government. We have a road, a 20-kilometer road that stretches from Bondo town. We're actually located somewhere 20 kilometers from Bondo. The road is in a bad shape. We are accessible, of course. Come with a good car, you are good. Come with a small car, you struggle, especially during the rains. And it's a local government's responsibility to. It's actually a Kenha road. But nothing seems to be happening. We've had that road launched, the construction launched twice, and nothing is happening on the ground. So there's the issue of infrastructure that can't actually be addressed by us on the ground. It has to be now done at another level. But we are doing with what we have. Right. We are doing with what we have. Yes.
Yeah, finally, as we wrap up the conversation, maybe now, as you give us your parting shot also, how do you think then you can support other people who are interested in getting into the hospitality business or trying to boost tourism in the country, especially just the ordinary Mwananchi level?
All right. It's not actually what I think we can do. It's what we are already trying to do. Because like I said, having this one facility in this huge area is not sustainable. You need other people coming in. So what my joy when people come to my facility at Pikidi is not so much you coming in and having a drink and taking a room and having your fun, experiencing that space. We get to talk because guests are not so many. We'll chat. And most of the people who come love the space so much. They'll start asking you, hey, is it possible to get a place we can develop here? That's the question I want to hear. So that people start coming in, and with our expertise on the ground, we can help them, develop whatever it is they want to develop and get that place, waking up and turning into some kind of Diani, even Florida. We're really dreaming, but this has to be people. We have to join forces. We can't do it on our own. We have to join forces. Even you are welcome.
Thank you. I will make time for it.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dorothy. Thank you for that conversation. That is Dorothy Abonyo. She is a proprietor with Pikidi Gardens Eco Lodge. We're discussing local and international tourism in the country. Right, I want us to take a short commercial break here on Africa Speaks. We'll be back with more. Stay with us.